reason. Thank you, Richard.
We're live on Facebook too.
All right. Like 25 minutes.
Okay, then I'm just gonna go turn it off.
Do you need, how long of a show do you want?
Yes. I mean, I can-
About 20 to 30 minutes. Does that work?
Last time did I do like?
You did the dark matter.
Okay, but I just like talked and then did dark matter. Okay, I'll do like a different.
Okay. Welcome to the September meeting of the BBAA. Sorry for the delay. I was just running behind, running a little late there. Let's just roll into it, straight to the Vice President's report with Jeff.
Check.
Goldstein.
So much for live on Facebook. It just says trying to connect, live Facebook, trying to connect. All right, I tried. It didn't work too good. Here we go. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay. Share. The share one. Okay. We got a lot of new members here. It looks like I'm gonna suggest we go around the room and introduce. But for right now, the scheduled events are today is the first Thursday of the month and it happens to be the 1st September. Yay, the Great Navy Camp Out this Saturday, the 3rd at 5 p.m.
Actually, we'll be setting up about 7 or 7:30.
7:30?
7:30 because it's a little early.
The sun doesn't set till 7:32.
Okay. Did you want to change that?
No.
Okay.
They're
They're going to start at 5. Gotcha. Boardwalk Astronomy, the last boardwalk of the season this year is the 6th of September, and it goes from 6 till 11. Last time we stayed till like 11:15, 11:30 almost. Garden Stars the 8th, 8 p.m. Saturday, Sunday at Elizabeth River Park, 10 o'clock. Let's see what else we got. Corn Watch, Cornland, the Friday the 16th. Sky Watch, Northwest River Park. 17th starts at 7. And Corn Watch again, 23rd. Night Watch. It's an all-night event for club members only at Chip Oaks, right? And I'm not sure what IOMN is, but let me see if I can do the next.
International Observatory.
That's right, International Observatory.
Ask about that during new business.
Okay, that's Saturday the 1st, International Observe the Moon, and we'll hear some more about that in the meeting tonight. For October, Garden Stars, 7:30, club meeting. First Thursday is the 6th of October. Saturday, Sunday at 10. Mars Festival, that's going to be pretty cool. That's an all weekend event. Where is that, George? Remember? I can click on it. ODU.
Same place we did last year's moon event.
Okay, all right.
It'll be three different days.
And it's a conflict on Saturday. It looks like First Landing Fall Fest at 12 o'clock, Skywatch at 6 o'clock. So you have to be in 3 places at once. That's not too bad. Cornland the 21st, Night Watch the 22nd, an all-night thing. Stanton River Party starts on the 24th, and we'll probably hear some more about that at the club meeting. Any questions? We can go into detail on any of these if you have any questions. Okay.
Can you keep that up here just for a second?
Sure.
Some stuff
Absolutely.
that I had. Stanton River goes all the way to the 29th to the 30th.
30th.
Wow,
If you guys will notice on here,
got to be a clear night through all that.
show them, you could download that events to iCal and upload it into Google, Apple, which should take care of 95% of everybody. And just periodically do it because we add events. So I guarantee you, if you do it now, it'll be all the way through December. Every event that's on there, just put it right in your calendar. I make a separate astronomy calendar, so if you don't want to see all that, you just deselect it. It'll turn
Good
off
idea.
all those things. But it's the simplest way, so you don't have to like manually.
So I don't have to do this. Old school.
You still
Okay.
got a phone. You can go old school and new school.
I'm going to stop share, and I think it's going to be all set for. Yeah, that's the calendar for the Astronomy League. Okay. All right. I think we're ready to rock and roll now.
Thank
Back
you,
to
Jeff.
you. Yes, sir.
All right, next up, we have secretary report with Jeff Gordon.
Gordon.
I motion that we dispense with the reading of the minutes.
Does
Do
anybody
I-
object to me not reading these out?
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for compiling that report though. All right, moving on. Treasurer report with Rich.
All right, let me share my screen. So we have $3,600, about $200 more than we had last month. Not a whole lot of action. We didn't have to spend money on anything other than our $10 a month at Groups IO. And then we got some apparel money in, and then we had a good membership month. So we had 6 new members, 6 full members, and 1 associate member with AL dues. So that's where the $200 kind of floated in. So yeah, we're up to 168 members on the roster. I think that's probably a record. And like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of activity money wise this month, so I don't have a lot of report.
All right, no news is good news.
Mhm.
Thank you, Rich. All right, is Ben here? There's probably nothing from scholarship board anyway. Bruce, I saw you. Alcor report.
Okay, so for those of you that are new this evening.
Can Bruce go up to where you're standing so we can hear him?
No, I'm standing right where I am.
He's camera shy, but we're gonna get him up here.
Listen louder. All my props are here.
Come on, you can get up there, Bruce. You're very photogenic.
Proud of it.
There you go.
Are you happy, Rich?
Yes, I am very happy.
I'm glad that you're happy because when you're happy, I'm happy. All right, so for those of you that are new this evening, I'm your astronomical lead coordinator. If you join this happy band of crazy people who are all high maintenance, you get a copy of this Reflector magazine, and that's the official publication of the Astronomical League. Every quarter comes out quarterly, right? Okay, so this is the September issue. The Observing Awards are listed, and I've had the pleasure of congratulating several people in the past. This month, however, there is nobody, okay, which is really sad. So in December, I hope to be able to congratulate more members with Observing Awards. In order to lead by example, I am working on the globular cluster program, which is not easy. There's 50 objects you have to find. But after the meeting, if especially anybody new, or members, I brought my current logs for this program. I found 22 objects so far on my way to 50.
Better hurry up because they'll be gone.
I know that.
soon.
I know that. Yeah. So I chose poorly in terms of a
Will you give
multi-site.
a brief synopsis of what you're talking about too for the new?
Oh, okay. So all of these different awards, basically you get a manual, which I could show you. And they basically say, okay, find all these constellations, or find these planets, or find these globular clusters. And there's probably over 50 of them. A lot of them are oriented toward beginners. So you do not have to have a giant telescope or a sophisticated observatory on top of your house in order to do these programs. So there are several that are oriented for children as well. Here's the Sky Puppy Observing Program. Look, people got that. All right, and they're both under 10. So anyhow, the Observing Awards are oriented to try to make you a better observer, more accomplished observer. And it's basically merit badges for astronomy for adults if you were ever a scout. So I got a couple of pins. A lot of our members, get the outreach award. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm doing with mine, and that'll give you an idea if you're curious after the meeting. Okay, because I thought it was not fair for me to do all this and not pursue an award myself. Okay, so the Astronomical League is a nationwide organization. I think it's over 200,000 people now, over like 200 clubs. Anyway, during the pandemic, it just kind of went crazy, like a lot of outdoor stuff. So they have a lot of programs during the month. All right, how do I share? Share.
Yes.
Right. All right. So, Rich, I want your dog to see this. Okay.
She's snoring.
So in September, the first event is this kind of interesting, the Astronomical League Live. Each month, presentations are made of various topics. So if you're interested in this email, did you get this?
Yes.
Great. Okay.
I'm
So
sorry I didn't reply to that.
yeah, I know you don't like it. September 16th, 7 p.m. They are presenting, preparing for a night of image capture. So if you're into astrophotography, they're going to go into that in probably a lot of detail. This is actually even sponsored by Explore Scientific. They have their own webpage. They do these on a fairly regular schedule. So this is called the Global Star Party. This is number 103, which features a wide variety of presentations. Someone from the Astronomical League presents a quiz. And if you submit the correct answers, how to do the person selected at random. For all the people who submitted answers, I think you get a prize. So we have to bribe people virtually and as well as. Okay. And then right now, this event is going on, but it's also a monthly deal. Derek Pitts, Chief Astronomer and Director of the Phelps Planetarium in Philadelphia, does a nightly astronomy day, covers the basics, concepts of what you want to learn in astronomy, uses stellarium. Anyhow, that's there. So we can post this somewhere, I don't know where, but this all comes from our section of the Astronomical League, the Mid-East Astronomical League, otherwise known as Merrill. Okay, so that's not the western half, it's the eastern half. So the those are the events for this month. The other one is a star party in Pennsylvania, which I don't think anybody will go to. All right.
I do try to post all these links that we get from Don, is his name?
Yeah, Don.
At Merrill, and
Okay.
onto the groups IO.
Okay.
So if you're not in groups IO, it's just you put a request, we'll approve everybody to be on there. It's
Okay.
like Yahoo Groups, except a new version of that, so.
Okay. There's
In
also
Discord.
a national convention this year in New Mexico, which is complete. Is the first in-person convention that they've had in 3 years. So you'll probably see a synopsis of that very large event in this December issue of Reflector. Last year, the Alcon annual convention was virtual, and we contributed 3 copies of Burnham's Celestial Handbook.
Are they doing something like that again?
Next
Have they
year.
asked?
Next year in New Mexico.
No, I'm saying that they asked for a donation.
They didn't ask for one for the in-person one at all. Nope. So, yep.
Clubs to choose from.
Yeah. So they do them all in person, I think, in New Mexico. Okay. And then my other notes. Oh, okay. And I'm a big Stott River Star Party fan. I went in fall of 21 and spring of 22. If anybody has questions about that event, that red line at the bottom of October, let me know. I can't go this October. I'll be back in the spring. But if you have any questions about Stott River, let me know.
Now, a few of our members have gone, if you're thinking about it. Chuck, didn't you go too?
Oh, I've never been to it. That's camping in.
All right, but
There's a few.
yeah, so please
Rolling.
please stop by and check out what I'm doing with globular clusters so you can kind of see how a program works. And then lastly, I have this new book. Can you read off the title of that big colorful book over there?
The Backyard Astronomer's Guide.
Right, that is an awesome book that I bought at Stott River State Park, which if you haven't seen it yet, it's the 4th edition. It's fantastic. It covers everything from soup to nuts. It has lots of colored pictures to keep you awake late at night under a red light. And I'm actually using it to, perish of thought, jump into astrophotography, with Jim Tolman's help. So
Oh, no.
going to the dark
Oh,
side.
not to the dark
Going to the
side.
dark side.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Ask
So,
Eddie
anyway,
back here. for his
check out
advice.
this awesome book. It's pretty great. Okay, so thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bruce. Next up was the triple RT report. Bird's not here, obviously, but I did look it up and there's no status, which is the first time in a long time. It says no status information was found. So I'm not sure why, but the triple RT is a robotic telescope on Fan Mountain that the club has unlimited access to. And if you would like to take astronomical photographs with that $1 million facility, let us know. We'll set up an account for all the club members can get an account through it. And you just put in a request online, submit it, and when the weather's good, the telescope will salute you where you want, take the amount of photos you want with like whatever filters you want that are installed. And then you can download them later and do whatever you want with them. So it's really a good perk to being in the club. And I'm sure that whatever's going on, it probably could just be a sensor out. It's been working pretty good for quite a while now, so I have no reason to see that changing. We're kind of rolling through this quickly because Lee said she would do a show if we didn't have a presentation planned, and so she's warming up the planetarium right now.
So those people online are out of luck.
Or you could drive here.
I'll try to put it Facebook Live if it comes out. It keeps cutting out on us.
All right, so old business. I have been super busy getting that boat ready, but it is almost done. So I'm almost done with that whole saga, just so you know. So I will email the East Coast Star Party thing. I'll be able to take care of that we talked about last meeting. Obviously, we're not having it this year, but I will be able to email about that. Do you guys have a date you want to do the solar eclipse workshop? We have everything.
Solar filter.
Yeah, I'm sorry, solar filter. Did you talk to Jim about that? Okay. We can set up a date for all the people that have purchased the solar material and want to make a solar filter. And we did purchase extra. So if you didn't get in on that, there's going to be extra material later. And let's see. Once we get that one done, then we have the dew heater workshop we want to do. So that's where we want to wrap it up. I only want one workshop at a time.
What's gonna be the cost of materials for the solar filter workshop?
Didn't you already submit? Did everybody submit?
I don't think I paid.
I don't
I don't even think I
didn't either. I don't remember paying.
I think Jeff's the only one who's paid, Jeff Thornton.
I paid.
I bet.
Oh, yeah, and you, yeah.
It's been so long.
Well, go pay.
You sure?
There's an email from
Lot of
her.
leftover
I'll dig
material.
through my old
How
emails.
much?
I told her, I don't remember, it was like $30. It
Um,
wasn't that much. It's like $30.
It was like 30 or 25.
Yeah, 25, $30 or something. I mean, I said it to everybody. You remember
Treasure
how Chuck
prize.
went through, everybody basically is getting the same amount of material. Okay. So I'm not gonna go, because we ordered a meter length of it, and we're gonna cut off what you need. All right. So we just divvied it up by what you need. If you have an 8-inch scope and you have a 6-inch scope, it's 25. Okay.
That's fair.
That's what I did. So if you don't like it, you can do the next workshop. I made it easy. But anyway, so I'll look for the email. If you guys can't find it, let me know, but I'll try and resend it. I'm sure it's in my sent box. And so everybody can pay the man. Use the website or the last link on the website where it says for everything else, only use this link if you're directed. This is the direction. Use that link. Let's see. That is all the old business I have. Does anybody else?
Yes.
Anybody else?
I've got shirts. I've got 4 small shirts, 4 medium shirts, 2 large shirts of different colors, light blue, gray, and black. And if you have any size that's different or a color that's different, you can go online and place your order, and we'll have to get things together and place another order.
Yeah, there's not very many, so we'll probably put in an order soon. Did you send off everybody else that?
No, not yet. And another one, Rich, I've been meaning to submit or deposit a check that the Nature Bus gave us 2 weeks ago, but I keep forgetting until about 5 o'clock when the bank is closed. Finally, I got the code, so I can use my ATM card to deposit. I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Good. Is that everything?
That's it.
All right. Anybody else have any old business? All righty. Anybody have any new business?
Got a question. Do we have anything, are we planning or wanting to plan anything for International Observe the Moon Night on the 6th of October?
We definitely want to do something. Did you guys narrow down a location yet? Remember I told you to get with Jeff?
I thought that was the Mars thing you said.
No, no.
Okay.
Mars
The
is-
Mars thing is like on the 15th
Obviously,
of
we
October.
haven't. Obviously, we have not.
Okay.
We didn't do it.
We need to get there.
Check.
Do you guys know where you want to do it? Do we want to go to a previous location? Like we went to Suffolk once. I was thinking maybe we should go to north of the bridge tunnel this time. We haven't usually go up to like Newport News, do something or Hampton. You know, like work with the VPAS guys if they want to do something.
We can look into that.
Because we're going, I was thinking Norfolk, but we're going to be in Norfolk 2 weeks later looking at the moon. And Portsmouth has not reached out to me. I've sent them multiple emails. I can't, aside from that thing we did at the library. And I'm sure I could get a hold of the library if you guys want to go there and do it.
Northwest River Park, and everybody knows where that is.
But I don't want to do it there for a specific reason because it's International Observe the Moon. And we can look at the moon from the most light polluted spot, which is where the people are.
Right.
I want to find a place where there's a lot of people. So I was trying to look at community calendars to see if someone had something going on that evening and we could just set up there because they're bringing the people out. Now we just have to tell them. So if you guys think of anything like that, let me know. Wherever it is in our area that we normally go, we can do something like that. The closest club, I looked on the NASA's website for the event and it's in Elizabeth City. No one else is doing anything up in our area, so we need to do something. And then we need to get on the calendar, like preferably in the next week, we need to narrow down location so we can work with the city, you know, to advertise and do all that stuff. All righty, any other new business? That was the first line on my new business too, was International Observe the Moon. So the only other thing I have is, it is September and in 2 months, it is club elections. And Jeff and I have no choice, according to our bylaws, we can't be in office anymore. So you may not feel like you can handle this, but trust me, it's not that hard to do. If you have questions, now's the time to ask us so we could help you out. Don't be shy. You will get help. And I've been doing this for 4 years. And then VP for 2 years. So I do need a break. Huh?
Think of somebody you wanted to nominate if you don't want to nominate yourself.
Yeah. Preferably they have your consent too.
Yeah.
That we don't put someone on the spot. It's really critically important that we get new people in because when I first joined and I became an officer, I had new ideas that the other officers have been doing it for so long they hadn't thought of. And when I was able to implement some of those new ideas, that's how we maintain freshness in the club. And that's how come we have 100 and almost 70 members now, is because you bring new ideas in and you attract more people. And this is hobby is a more old person's hobby, and we need to attract younger people all the time. So we need you to volunteer to maintain the operation of this club, really. Otherwise, it just dies like it across the country. This is a huge problem with this astronomy club. Yes.
Us new members try to become an officer?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh.
The only restriction they have is, they have to be, 21. Because they have but really, I think we should take that out of the bylaws. It's in the bylaws because they had a previous part of them with a high school student who didn't do the job. But there's nothing stopping a grown adult from not doing their job either, so we don't have those restrictions on them. You know? I mean, this is a volunteer organization. You're not getting paid to do it, and we understand that things come up. Like in 2019, I took a selling trip and I was gone for months, and these guys handled it while I was gone. It's a volunteer organization, you know. So if you are considering it, let us know, because I really do think we should rewrite the bylaws and get rid of that, because it's really like age discrimination on 18-year-olds. You know, I'm not saying we should let a 14-year-old be the president or something, but maybe they would be good at it too. You never know. We've had club members in here that are high school students that are excellent. They're some of the most knowledgeable people in the club. So I don't think age should be a restriction at all. But if you have questions, please feel free to ask me after the show or talk to any of the officers. George, he's been in this club forever. He's been in almost all the positions too, I think. So you don't need to talk to an officer. You can talk to Bruce, who's been in the club a long time. But feel free to reach out to any of us. If you want to do it through email, you can send it to like info@backbayastro.org and it goes to all the officers, or email us directly. It's all on the website.
Hopefully.
It goes through, you can't access it, but we're having,
You still having trouble?
No,
we have
I tried
network
to get the
provider
right link.
problems,
Yeah,
but
because you put a B in.
yeah, they put a B in.
Yeah. I found that, I tried to get it, it would work. Yeah.
I think that's all the new business. Does anybody else have any new business?
Could you ask Richard, I'm gonna get a t-shirt, could I send the money to PayPal?
Yeah, you can pay right on the store site.
What's that? Oh, for the soul.
Okay.
Yeah. You can use the link on there. Make sure you select the size and color you want. And
I'm gonna get one.
yeah, that's fine. You can still pay on there. You could, we got a square too over here that we can use, although I did reset my phone, so I don't have it set it up.
I've got a medium gray, a medium black, and two medium light blue.
And if you guys need a size that's not there, the way the t-shirts work is we have to have a minimum order of 10. And we usually like to do 20 because they have to set up the printing press with the colors, and that's their requirement. Otherwise, it's much more expensive per shirt. So everything else that you see on the website that we have, we can order whenever. The t-shirts are the one exception. We have to have a certain number, and we are running low, so we're going to order more. But that works out perfect. So if you guys want a size and a color, no, because otherwise you just have to pick whatever we have left. We tend to get like that blue, a lot of them, because it's a popular one.
Mostly light blue is gray.
Triplets. We got triplets in here.
We got plenty of solar filled glasses too.
Yes.
About those two.
Yes, we have a lot of solar eclipse glasses. The club had a bunch made for the upcoming eclipses, so if you want some, they're $2 a piece, and that is going to help fund the scholarship hopefully for years. That's the plan.
I probably need to start tracking that better. Like Eddie Parrish just bought some eclipse glasses the other day. About like 8 of them.
Okay. Sounds good. Does anybody else have any new business before we go into observing reports?
We have the Old Dominion Planetarium Director here.
Yeah, I see. Justin.
I think you should give a little spiel. How about that?
Yeah.
We talk about Mars Fest?
Go ahead, please.
For a second?
Yeah, sure.
I'll train on that one. Okay, we better go up there. Much better to go up there.
Maybe step right over here in the hot spot.
All right. So yeah, hi everyone. I guess this is my first meeting coming to the Back Bay Amateur Astronomers. I lived in the area for 10 years. I've been meaning to come to a meeting for 10 years.
Tell who you are.
And I'm the director of the planetarium at ODU. My name's Justin Mason, for those of you who don't know me. Now I know about a year ago you all came out and visited us. So I guess that technically that was my first meeting, but this is my first time coming out to one of these. So thank you all. Most of you recognize me. I was kind of surprised. I haven't seen you in almost a year. And you remember when we were on WHRO together and things like that. So I guess one kind of the the plug is something you all are really helping us out with a lot is Mars Fest, which is coming up October 14th, 15th, and 16th. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. The main event is going to be kind of from 6 to 10, all 3 nights. And I know you all had telescopes out there all 3 nights last year. I think Saturday was right down. But I mean, we estimated 12,000 people came out to that event in 3 days. And one of the days was rained out. So we estimated 12,000 people essentially over 2 nights that came out. So we're hoping for more this year because we're shutting down even more of ODU's campus in the nearby neighborhood. We're not doing just 43rd Street. We're actually shutting down Monarch Way all the way down to 49th as well. So we're planning vendors. We're having a whole STEAM corridor, we're calling it. So we have like 25 different tables being set up for like ODU physics department, College of Sciences, anything around, around Norfolk and Hampton Roads. I mean, we're doing quite a bit more this year. So we're expecting even more people to come out. But like last year, we had a big giant 23-foot inflatable moon. Well, this year's Mars. Same artist, same detail is going to be on it, but it's going to be hanging over 43rd Street, 15, 16 feet in the air, something like that, and just glowing all night long. It's an amazing view. I don't think Mars rises until like 11 p.m. So, yeah, and then we got buildings in the way. So you probably want to get to see Mars with Mars up, but
It's not much to look at.
there's not much to look at. Yeah.
Jupiter and Saturn are gonna be up there.
They are.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jupiter,
We're
but
gonna be
don't show them.
positioned
Yeah.
right down the street from Mars thing, so.
Yeah, and I think we're not going to have the glass blowing right in front of you. I know that was a problem. All the heat waves, distortions last year. So that's been moved somewhere else. But you all in the exact same position right there on.
Charlotte said we could go for the corner, like actually into in front of the building where it's dark too, so it's gonna be a good spot.
Mhm.
There's no one in that whole area, like, it's like 25 yards that we're able to set up from the corner. So it's quite a ways.
Yeah, you have a huge footprint. You can
Yeah.
use. We have nothing else limiting you there. So,
In
yeah,
fact, I'm glad you brought all that up because I almost forgot, they're gonna set up a monitor for everybody who can't reach the eyepiece and look through the telescopes. We're gonna bring one of the club telescopes, put a camera in it, hook it up to the monitor. So if someone has the camera, if not, I'm gonna get one of those like $60 cameras or something off of Amazon. But if you have a camera you wanna use, I'll bring the $1,000 telescope. And you throw it in, like, throw it in that nice,
It's a CCD one. It's not a fancy.
that's fine. As long as they can output to the monitor or the TV that they're gonna set up. They're gonna set up like a 40 or 50-inch TV. So for everybody, when you remember seeing all the people like wheelchairs and stuff like that? So for all those people who can't literally reach the eyepiece, this will be a chance for them to use it. So, should be good.
so again, October 14th, 15th, and 16th. So I definitely want to thank you all for coming out to that again. It's thousands of people, potentially 10, 20,000 people are going to be out there again this year. So we're really looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it already.
Oh, and he also every Wednesday night
Oh,
coming up.
Okay, if I get more shameless plugs, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Since I am director of the planetarium at ODU, just want to mention we also do Wednesday night planetarium shows, only $3 a ticket. You can buy tickets at the door when you get there. We're taking a break right now, but we're going to be back on September 14th just with the ODU semester starting this week. We're just swamped with everything else, just routine maintenance and just getting classes ready. But yeah, September 14th, and we'll run through sometime mid to late December. Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:30. So
Every Wednesday, when you say it's
every Wednesday, September 14th, and we'll probably stop sometime in mid to late December.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we also do a thing called Bad Movie Night on the first Friday of every month. We show old like 1950s, 1960s sci-fi movies. $3 a ticket as well, so cheap date night. Next month, we're not doing it tomorrow because ODU is playing Virginia Tech tomorrow night. So it's campus is shut down. It's so much tailgating tomorrow. There's gonna be no parking. So not tomorrow night, but on the 9th, we're showing the Angry Red Planet from 1965, I think. And then the month after, we're showing Robinson Crusoe on Mars from the 1960s as well. I've never seen that one, but I'm really excited to watch that. But again, it's called Bad Movie Night. We've been doing it for 7 years. It's probably my favorite thing we do. 6:30, we do a trivia contest. So it's random trivia. It could be history. I don't do sports. That was my lesson. But it could be science. It could be movies. It could be music. And then we usually give out free prizes, like little meteorite fragments, or I just have a little box of like astronomy toys. Pick up an astronomy pencil, whatever. And then 7 o'clock for the movie. Again, it's only $3.
Where is that?
At the ODU Planetarium, the address, the address is 4501 Elkhorn. We're in the new chemistry building, almost right in the center of campus. We're next to the baseball field.
Is that Elkhorn?
Elkhorn, yes.
Alright.
Yep.
Thank you.
And it is a very nice facility. It's the newest planetarium in the area, right?
Newest in the state, I think, still. We're the second largest. I think.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. It's very similar to the one here. So if you go to the show, I guess that Lee is putting on for us here in a few, the same designers designed ours. So it's very similar feel and look.
What's it?
Just bigger.
Oh.
Yep, it looks bigger. I don't want to say it's nicer, Leah, sorry, but no.
We have like the smoke, we don't have that.
Right.
We don't have that for laser shows.
So yeah, we have a few amenities that maybe they don't have. At the same time, it's a very similar look and feel to the one here.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
Thank
All right, observing reports. Who's got them?
you. I got one. Okay,
All right,
yeah,
David.
Friday night at Corn Watch, I don't know if y'all have been there, but Corn Park, but it was like 1% illumination, I think, that night. It was great. We had to fight a few clouds every now and then, but I was there, Mel, Jonathan, and some new kid from, who's in the military, but he showed up about 10 o'clock and better late than never. And you really, I mean, mainly it's there, people do like astrophotography. You know, I really got a good shot of Helix Nebula, Crescent Nebula also. That was pretty nice. But yeah, you guys never been there before. It's really nice, really dark. So I'd urge y'all to take a shot at.
Most of the members that go there do astrophotography, but if you like to do visual observing and not have to show the public, it's a good spot to go to.
You're working on an astronomy league program.
Yeah.
You don't want to be interrupted. You can do it there.
Any other observing reports?
That's just Jonathan. Yeah, when I was at that Cornland, I did a sketch for the Astronomical League program for Planetary Nebula. And I also did another 3 of them last night. And that's another fairly difficult program, I think. To get the basic certification, you have to observe 60 planetary nebulas. I doubt I'll get the pin, which is over 100, but I'm going to shoot for the basic initially. So I got like 14 of those so far out of the 60. That's it.
We want to see you in the December issue, Jonathan.
Well, I think it'll take me close to a year to complete it. It takes me 30 minutes per observation. So it's pretty time consuming, but I like it. It's worth doing. It's a good program. Plus that's a BBAA program, which is why I started to try to support that program.
Did you have something, Bruce?
So on August 20th, Skywatch was extremely well attended. I counted 30 cars. So probably about 15 scopes.
I'd say I estimated 45 to 50 people.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the summer Skywatches are always very well attended.
And a lot of good questions. People just hung around and families were there. They hadn't hung around with my telescope and kept asking questions. They hung around Gabriel's telescope. It was a lot of fun.
Gabriel was in full force. George was scaring the children again with his Greek mythology story. Medusa's head, stuff. They all ran.
That green laser go.
What was that? Yeah, so I actually went up and hid by the horse ring and found 17 longer than
Did you have one observing report? too?
Yes, I've had two observing reports. Last Friday night, we were at Croatan Beach. There were 2 of us, Chloe, my granddaughter, and I, set up a telescope. She had her 4.5-inch reflector, and I took Samantha's 8-inch dog, which she lets me use. And we had about 50 people from the Croatan neighborhood. And We saw Saturn and Jupiter, and I was able to point out the summer triangle. We saw Delphinus the dolphin, I think M71 globular cluster, the 13, the coat hanger cluster, and I had my big scope on Saturn and Jupiter all night. I couldn't get off because there were so many people who wanted to see Saturn and Jupiter. So Chloe was the one who was finding all these other objects. And she's 14 years, she'll be 14 in November.
Following in Sam's footsteps.
Anyway, that was last Friday. Then Sunday after church, Linda and I went to the Eastern Shore. A friend of hers has a cottage up there, and we spent Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, came home Wednesday. Sunday night, we had a partial, it was partially cloudy, but we were able to see Jupiter and Saturn, and I was able to point out some other things to the neighbor. And then Monday night was totally cloudy. I couldn't do anything. Tuesday night, I went out, cloudy again. So I went to bed about 10 o'clock, got up every 2 hours, got up at midnight, looked outside, cloudy, went back to bed. Got up 2 o'clock, went outside, cloudy, went back to bed. Got up 4 o'clock, it was clear. And Orion was there on a glowing brightly on a black background, and I was able to see a lot of things with I dragged the telescope out and spent a couple hours observing, and then about just before 6 o'clock, around 6 o'clock, it started getting a little hazy, and I looked behind me to the west, and the clouds were rolling in. But also, it was nautical twilight beginning, so I was losing my sky. But I stayed up until 6:30 to watch the sunrise over the trees in the distance. It was beautiful.
I saw the report you put on group side. It looked quite nice, especially to see Orion in August.
Yeah, Ryan and August. Yeah. I think
You stayed, yeah, at late night. I know that.
Yeah,
Any other observer reports?
Yeah, I'll go real quick because my 4-year-old, when he busts into my office when I'm working, right, he always goes, "That's Daddy's telescope. Where's my telescope?" And so I went and got him a little 3-inch tabletop DAW from Celestron. It was like $70, and he's fascinated by it. But unfortunately, well, usually he goes to bed by sunrise. I've had it about 2 weeks, so I've taken it out to view Saturn on my front porch. Even though it costs $70, I'm putting like $300 eyepieces in it because the little apostles that came with it are no good. And so I'm just checking out Saturn, which I don't really have great eyepieces for it either because I'm used to a 2800 focal length, and I need a wide field of view in an SET for my variable work. So I have all like 40 millimeter, 30 millimeters. My smallest is a 15 millimeter. So I couldn't get that much magnification on Saturn. I also found, because it didn't have a finder, so I bought a Telrad and strapped it on the side, which is almost as big as the scope. And so it was pretty fun looking. So I'm hoping this weekend we got good condition, because the moon, since I bought it, will finally be a big position, because I think it'll be good for looking at the moon, and he'll be fascinated by that. So I'm hoping we got good conditions to let him actually use his telescope, because Daddy's been using his telescope.
Start him out young.
That's
You said
right.
3?
What's that?
He's 4.
He's 4.
Start him out young. Anybody else? Speaking of telescopes, if you are a new member and you don't have a telescope, you should be talking to me, because we get telescopes donated to us all the time, and I will give you a telescope. Yes.
I just have one quick question. I was looking online on Amazon. What I noticed the last OSHA Pro March that we had, a lot of people were kind of holding up the line because they wanted to take pictures. And so is it possible, I'll volunteer to have a designated telescope and I'll buy the attachment. It was only like $20 online, so they could just stick their cell phone in and just take pictures.
Yeah,
And so then instead of them holding everyone else up, they could actually stand in line.
yeah, if you want to do that, that's fine.
Excellent.
We used to have Bob Bierlin had 3D printed something like that, and it worked really good for him. But since COVID, it doesn't come out the events as much.
She's on the list too.
Yeah, he lives far north too. But yeah, that's great. Anything else from anybody before we start doing the planetarium show?
One thing goes back to the schedule. Our Navy camp out is this Saturday. So far, I'm the only one who's RSVP who's going to be there. But the way to get there, go up 64, get off at exit 276A, go up Granby Street East 460, I mean, and gate 22 of Norfolk Naval Station. And it's, after you get through the gate, it's maybe half a mile on the right, Breezy Point Park. Very nice location, nice dark sky. Hopefully there'll be no clouds.
I have a map. Come look at it.
And if you have a military ID, you can get on. If you don't, I've got a question into the director of the event to see if we can have somebody to vouch for any member that doesn't have an ID, military ID.
Sure, veteran active. Yeah, needed to, and you're pretty strict.
I don't have high hopes about that.
Well,
Even though the gate's close to the location, they still.
2 weeks ago, we had an event at Fort Story. And one of our members did not have an ID. But,
Yeah, I was able to get her.
but we were able to get her in.
He's pretty hardcore.
Well,
Usually
Fort Story's got a joint base with the Navy, Little Creek.
Right, Joint Base, Little Creek, whatever, amphibious.
Joint Expeditionary Base, Little Creek. and
Name this
Fort Story.
long,
Jim
you know.
Willard.
All right, well, based on that, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Raffle, raffle.
Oh, dang, we gotta do the raffle.
Got a giveaway,
Yeah,
raffle.
we gotta do the raffle.
Okay, I've got the tickets in this graduated cylinder. It's so old.